Hello, this is Dr. Jill Young. I'm your instructor for this term, and I am going to go over some things. This is kind of a new thing where I'm doing some videos in the classroom. So, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to get that. Anyway, I just want to kind of introduce myself. There's an introduction, I believe, in the Webliography section. Let's see, do I still have that in there or not? I can't remember from term to term sometimes. Okay, let's see. Whoops, sorry, I didn't want you to see my email. Okay. Bibliography. Come on. Here we go. No, actually I didn't. I think the reason I didn't is they're going to post a new one. But basically I'm going to go over a few things in this video as far as what you need to know about doing well in this course. So, first thing I want to talk about is if you don't have your book, you need to get your book. All these classes usually are text driven. What I mean by that is you will have to do a case study or something from the text. Get your book. If you don't have your book, you are not going to pass this class. However, if you're waiting on your book, what they have done is it puts the first couple of chapters in the docs sharing section. So you see I'm in the doc sharing right now. See the scan readings? First you click on that, and then you would scroll down here and you'll get chapters 1, 2, and 3 to get you by. But after that, you're going to need your textbook. So just make sure that you have it in time. This is the textbook right here. Make sure you get it because you're going to need it. Okay. Late work policy. You can submit late work. I do not. Basically, here's what you need to know about late work. I will not accept it after 2 weeks after the due date, period. I will accept it within a week after the due date with a 5% penalty. Within 2 weeks, 10%. Unless you have some kind of documentation, I will not waive the late penalty. So here we are. And make sure to read this carefully. I feel like you should be able to get your work in within 2 weeks. So, and I'm not going to waive penalties just because there's students that work really hard to get their stuff in on time, and I'm not going to, it's not fair if I just accept anybody's work when they get theirs in on time. So just make sure to, you know the policy. Of course, it's better to submit late work than not at all. So here we are. 5 to 10% is not a deal breaker. You can still do very well if you submit late work. I will say this to you. If you've got a half-completed assignment, I would submit it late before just submitting that on time. You have to balance the late penalty with how much information, the quality of your work. So just keep that in mind. That only goes for individual work assignments. Late post to discussion and teamwork areas are not accepted. No exceptions. Because that's participation. Okay, grading guidelines. Here's your grading guidelines. Right here. You've got your Dropbox. I will use these for every assignment. Every assignment will have either this one for your discussion post. This is what the rubric's going to look like. And for your individual work, this is what it's going to look like. Read these when you're doing every assignment to make sure that you are addressing each section. Every time you do anything in this class, you need to go through this and make sure that you are doing what you need to do. For example, see this discussion grading guideline? It says here, students main post is supported by references to the week's required reading and other learning activities. Students' main post is free of errors relating to sentence structure. You need to follow those. You need to proofread carefully. Don't give me little, don't give, I mean, the worst thing, the most common issue is poor writing, quite frankly. I expect you to know how to write a sentence properly. What I'll do often is I'll give you feedback as far as there's typos, grammar errors, problems. I'm going to expect you to go and find those because English is a prerequisite to this class. So I expect you to write properly. So make sure that you and do not rely on spell check or grammar checker. Read it with your eyes. That's pretty much the best advice I can give you there. Simply because I see that so often, it's really kind of, I shouldn't be seeing that. I mean, you should know how to write when you get into college. So, if you are struggling, however, with writing, I will eventually give you, I will tell you to go to the tutoring section and start doing your work earlier and having them review it for you and help you with that. Because I'm going to be looking for content because I'm teaching business, so I'm going to be looking for, are you addressing the questions properly? So, you need to be able to proofread your papers and write, I'm going to have to hold you up to that standard. Okay, so discussion posts should always be posted right on the board. Do not attach a document to the discussion board. On the other hand, do not simply post in the Dropbox. You need to attach a document to the Dropbox. So, to clarify, if it's a discussion question, you post the information right on that board. If it's an individual work assignment, you need to attach the document into the Dropbox. You attach it. Don't just post your work in the Dropbox. In other words, don't just copy and paste in the Dropbox. I don't want to see that. Every week you're going to have a quiz. Actually, I don't even know if it's every week. I'm sorry. It's not every week, but looks like first week you do. So we're just going to address the first week. Make sure to take the quiz. It's worth several points. Tells you what chapter it covers. You get an hour to complete it. You can take it once. So make sure to take the quiz. Let's see. Let's go to the first discussion question. Okay. Let's just go over this. To demonstrate your understanding of the impact of economics, technology, and global forces, please write 1 to 2 paragraphs for each of the following 2 discussion prompts. So, it says 1 to 2 paragraphs. I mean, obviously you're going to get a better grade if you do 2. If you do 1, it's going to, I kind of would recommend that you do 2 per each question. So number 1, please describe at least 2 innovations in technology that have significantly influenced business enterprise in the way it is conducted worldwide. And then 2, discuss how socio-cultural, economic, legal, and environmental factors and forces factor into conducting business in global markets. I will say this. The most common problem I see or error when I'm grading these is students who do not address each of the factors in number 2. So I want you to address each one, each of the forces of the socio-cultural, the economic, legal, and environmental, all of them. Make your answers complete. Let's see. Okay, so you're posting that on the discussion board directly. Proofread it. Quite frankly, I would write it in Word. I would spell check it. Then I would take my eyeballs and I would go over each word carefully. Make sure you're not using the wrong word, like, using the wrong there or the wrong, the wrong word, because spell doesn't catch it when you use the wrong word. So just bear in mind. I want to make something clear. For this class, APA is not a requirement that will get you, where I will dock points off. However, I highly and strongly recommend that you use this class to practice, because the next class you will be expected to use APA format and you will be docked for it. I might give you feedback about your APA format. I might talk about your citations if they're not formatted properly or things like that. Make sure that you are practicing in this class. It will only help you as you move forward in your degree program.